Hello, welcome to Jadekine Gaming presents The Observatory. My name is Adam. Here with session 51 of the New Divines Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. We have Erich as Stan, Bob as the Old Man, David as Terry, Ryan as Billy, and Austin as Rolfur. And last time was great. So y'all were, you teleporting around. Day 171, you tidied up your mess in Kronport. You headed to Dahlport so that you could then head up northwest and find where Ural was hanging out. Didn't you? Didn't you, old man?
And, man, you're looking at me like I started this fight.
No, we're looking at you like you finished it.
Damn right I did. You're damn right.
So, y'all went... I think the discussed goal for going was to introduce the idea of the not take over powers agreement to Ural. But before that could happen, Ural made an attempt on Stan.
Oh yeah, he violated the NAP.
So,
again.
Not knowing what... he didn't know what was going on. Y'all showed up, and he did what he could as quick as he could, and he failed. Then the old man tried to reverse it on Ural and failed. And then succeeded. So we ended as the party divided in the desert of nomads after the old man made Ural worship Stan, granting Stan the war domain and all the powers thereof. Terry went home. Rolfur went to his shrine. Alice walked off into the desert. The old man stepped into his domain. And Billy and Stan stayed to speak with the Men of Iron, where they'd just gone to get things started in the first place.
We did skip over something kind of important.
Okay.
The fact that the old man he banished Terry in order to get to a Ural.
You got better.
You got better.
No, all of the little intricacies of it.
Oh, sure. I banished an elemental.
I don't think it's going to not come out in the drama. And hopefully they watched last episode.
Yeah, it'd be kind of bizarre.
Let's start this on episode 51.
This is the worst place to start. You want to start
Go back
randomly?
at least one episode.
Go one episode back. That one is a great episode.
Oh man, Reddit's talking all about this episode. I should start there. It's the best.
A natural jumping on point.
Session 52.
And
it's not important context.
No. One thing to note is also that Rolfur went and prayed to the other gods to advise them of the old man's betrayal, being sure to paint him in a negative light.
Yep.
One might say
unjustly.
Whether or not things are justified is irrelevant here.
Yeah,
It's
I'm sorry,
delicious.
you were just an obstacle in my way, so I moved your reputation out of my way. It's a completely reasonable thing, I've been told.
So, I guess we should start with Billy and Stan, because they're still where we left them.
Right.
So, the desert, Men of Iron, the Warforged, basically.
Right. So, let's go ahead and start our conversation with the Warforged and get to know them and inform them about the gods who are Stan but also not Stan.
Yeah, and wait, is Ural still here?
Yeah, Ural's present. I think he called the ceasefire after basically he knew it was pointless.
Yep.
Yeah. So, does he still want to be a general or lead an army?
Do you
see how he's doing? Like, what was his plan?
Do you go up to talk to him, or?
Yeah, like, so what were your plans here? Like, what were you...
Find your touchstone.
These are men of war, and I was going to lead them into what is their mission.
Mission being?
You're God of War now.
Just go pick any fight anywhere? Was your game plan?
Well, we were looking into options, and we have been contracted.
By whom? And for what?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, yeah, let's see if I can make this. Okay, shall we? One roll dice. There he goes. Does 9 or anything?
Did you say 9, or did you cut off before that?
29.
29. Much better. Well, as I suppose you'll now be hearing about it, King Bartholomew has contracted us to repair and station in the Emerald Carving for the attack south.
Oh, you were going to attack my town? Brighton?
What?
We're going to attack south?
Yes.
Brighton?
What?
Brighton south of here?
Well, no, we were, as I said, we were being moved to the Emerald Carving.
They're attacking Jade Kingdom.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
King Bartholomew, the person who is at war with the Jade Country.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
He's like, I don't need an army. I have money. Or you probably don't even need money. These people just like to go to war. They're just kooky that way.
Yeah. Did he already pay you?
Initial agreements have been met for us to be able to prepare. As the
Alright.
machine of war is not cheap, though I suppose now you control that.
Yeah.
But at least he's not bitter about it.
I mean, if he wants to be a follower, I'll
He
make
can
him
just be gone.
Okay.
He knows exactly what Stan can do. Bitter has nothing to do with it.
Appreciated the fact that I didn't fucking kill him.
Yeah,
I very much
Yurdle-
appreciate it. I'm trying to make it, let him stick around here.
Yurdle has learned a profound respect for divinity all of a sudden.
What did you say? Sorry.
But I wanted to actually talk with the regular Men of Iron, and
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah, let's talk with them as well.
Okay. You
Look over the army, give them the whole life gaze.
Can't you only do it one at a time?
infinite concentration.
Hmm.
He gets to concentrate on as many different spells and abilities as he wants to. If he loses
So,
concentration,
right.
he loses all concentration.
We all just need a sucker punch Stan once a year. I remember now.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
It's like,
That's why I've been trying
it's like all of a sudden when he loses concentration, everyone's gone. And then because I think you have to do it like visually, you have to see them. You then have to go around to find them all again to reset.
One person at range per day, but yeah, the rest is. So mostly the visual aid is the best part of it. So
It's like, eventually you're bound to lose concentration.
exactly. And then hope those people don't realize that they're missing it or need it.
Yeah. But yeah, so you head off to just some of the soldiers.
Yep.
Bit of metal and parts that are wood, and see a little light from within.
One of them runs on A-tracks. Just
What do
A-track
you-
tapes.
I'd say I think, well, the first thing would be that since we've only heard rumors about the Men of Iron, we'd actually like to hear the story from themselves and kind of an explanation of what their life and culture is like, since it's kind of mysterious to people who aren't them.
Okay. Yeah. We roam the desert when we are not needed. We are the eternal soldiers.
Can you sense when there's a conflict going on?
When we are called upon because of conflicts.
And we've been told that you have the ability to take defeated soldiers, and as long as they've met some requirement, that they'll be able to be rebuilt and brought back.
Oh, yes.
And so, what is that like, and what do they have to do to meet the requirement, I suppose?
You'd have to be recoverable. For the body is but a shell, and the indwelling soul can be can be built a new one.
Say, this might. This is probably something that you'd be unaware of, but the god of the grave has been in exploration of the kind of the whatever. It's a river to where the dead who are faithless end up going. And he's managed to recover some of your people's souls from there.
Very well.
But they seem to have been under the impression that they had I don't know, failed to meet the standards of whatever it was to have a new body built for themselves.
Well, yes. If, say, they are made unrecoverable.
Okay. So if they're
If, say, they are captured and not dead upon the battlefield, we cannot come back for them.
okay. Okay, and it's like, well, I can pass that information along to him to see whether or not there's anything that can be done for them. And then I'll want to go into explaining the other members of the pantheon to them. And I will do it in such a way that I can at least relate it to their raison d'etre. So it's like, sure, and it's like life and war are definitely going to be important to these people, but maybe it is good to have maybe somebody around who pays homage to some of the other gods, maybe the god of remembrance, so that past mistakes need not be repeated, because you have somebody who's able to tell it. Maybe a follower of the god of the craft because is not a blacksmith also an important part of a warrior's life, or at least somebody who can make new weapons of war. Perhaps the god of trickery, because you could certainly end a conflict with a adept move and outflanking an opponent. Could worship me, because coming to a creative solution for a problem could certainly be of benefit to a great many warriors. But I'll, along those lines, I'll explain the other gods to them like that.
Make an insight.
Okay. I get a 23.
Okay. So, well, what they say is essentially that is not the path that we walk. You do not gather that they necessarily disagree with your statements so much as those are they don't view themselves as being the entirety of the war, the entirety of an army. They have their purpose, and their purpose is the war. They are part of the machine of war. Culturally, they seem to have less of a view of themselves. The extent of which they view themselves as people is limited.
Okay. It's like, yeah, I can understand that you guys are pretty specialized, but you might be able to do the job better if you had a bit more diversity, I guess.
With a better general. And on that note, I summon a Planetar. Here's your new general.
Do be aware, Planetars are lawful good and might be opposed to just war for war's sake.
That's because we're going to go around stopping wars.
And is it Planetars that have that ability?
I don't know.
Dick Lie?
Can we make
No,
make
it's not them.
angels with different alignments?
You have a few of those around you kind of give you a puzzled look. And what sort of interference do you intend to enforce this with?
Interference?
Yeah.
Ask him what makes grass grow. What makes the green grass grow? Ask him what makes the green grass grow.
Why?
Ask him what makes the green grass grow. Blood. Blood makes green grass grow. It's an infantry chant from the U.S. military. Never mind, carry on.
Okay. But yeah, no, they ask, like, what, you're just trying to essentially assign a new general to an army. From the outside. So they ask, what are you, I mean...
On whose authority?
Yeah, it's like, they're not strictly, they're not strictly refusing. If you, depending on what show of force you're gonna enforce it with, that's what they're asking about.
Oh, okay.
It is clearly not a desired tactic for you to walk in and assign some outside force to lead them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Okay, that was foolish of me then.
I mean, you could just...
You could leave it as a guardian angel for them and just assign whoever...
But this guy's going to be there to help you as well. I am the god of war now. The god of life.
The angel...
This guy will keep you healed.
Yeah, this will watch
And
over
God
you.
loves the infantry.
What wars have you fought in?
I gave him a righteous backstory. He has it. He lists off a whole list of things that doesn't exist. Maybe, I don't know, he's charisma of 25 is the role.
So you're making the Planetar lie? Just to be clear...
No, I'm sorry. You misunderstood. They asked you what wars you'd fought in.
Yeah, what wars has Stan fought in?
What wars have I fought in?
Fucking none.
Or life?
And while we appreciate the power you can grant still,
I've been in wars.
you do not need to try to run the wars.
You don't need.
Yertle is the god of war. Yertle was the god of war who was involved in the battles because Yertle was a general. That's what Yertle did. That's what Yertle knew.
Okay.
You can grant the power without getting in your hands dirty and involved in the fights. You can still grant the people of war, and so it may not be your personal thing, because obviously...
I was trying to find out earlier if Yertle would still be general, and you never answered. I figured that was a no. That was going to be a no. So my general just abstained from his position.
He was kind of looking at you, asking, "Are you going to kick me out or something?"
Yeah, it's like you're. He's not sure what you're doing.
That's what I was trying to ask you. Does he still praise me? Can I tell he's a follower?
He is not a follower.
Is he mine?
You have no. He is currently faithless.
Dangerous game the man's playing.
Not really. He knows he has time to make a decision if his end comes and they'll have to decide. But right now, everything has just been shooken. As far as if he's a general, it kind of depends both on if you let him continue to exist, as well as will the soldiers continue to follow him, and he doesn't know yet.
Okay, so
you are here at about the 13-minute mark from where he's no longer a god.
I don't know. Stan, do you give Yertle your blessing to continue on?
Like I said earlier, if he wants to still do it, I will let him be the general for now. But praise me, and you can be a cleric. Your life was spared today when you did pick a fight with me.
Wasn't spared by you.
Yeah.
You don't need to know that.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there. It's been like 15 minutes. He remembers.
Also, it's not like you fought for him.
It's like, come on, that was weeks ago. That was half an hour ago.
No, it was way less than that.
Less than that.
Hey, Bob could have killed him. Like I said, he said.
Hey, I know I did horrible things to you, but I could have done worse things, and you should be thanking me for that.
Hey,
With all
To
due
be fair,
respect.
he let horrible things happen to him. He didn't do them.
Hey, that is not an unknown angle for a god to take.
It is not. But I'd also point out that we generally all agree the Greek gods were assholes. Like, every single one of them.
Except for Hades.
For varying degrees.
It was pretty chill.
Yeah, Hades out there doing his fucking job like a boss.
You know, except for when he stole his wife.
Allegedly.
And to be fair, that was pretty normal back then. I mean, you know...
That was standard courtship.
Yeah, it's pretty standard stuff at that time.
And all in all, Hermes and Athena were also pretty good. And then it just kind of falls off a cliff.
Hermes was an ultimate bro.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Now that we've discussed that pantheon, back to this one.
These were important discussions to have.
okay, so
With all due
I
respect,
got my time frames mixed up here. So
I may need a little more time to make some decisions and see what the men say.
What are you talking about? He's had weeks.
It's like,
Hey.
all right.
and it's like, well, yeah. And it's like, yeah, you should be kind of left to live your life at this point, Yertle.
If he wants to leave this army, that's fine. I'll take that life lock off them, though.
Okay.
You can have this back when you remember whose house this is.
Hmm?
I will also
Just
point
like
out,
taking
literally,
a
it's
seat,
the
right?
army that already doesn't die. But yeah, sure.
I'll ask Stan at this point. And it's like, so Yertle basically attacked you as soon as that we showed up, and it's like, do you have any other history with this guy?
Are you doing this
He's
in front of him,
attacking
or are
me.
you, like, walking away as you...
I can stand here. What's he gonna do? Attack me?
Well, it's like, sure, I'll
God, Stan, you're such a dick.
no. I mean, it's like, I'll let Yertle be here, and he's like, do you two have any history?
Of his dagger. A little bit.
We have the history that I'm sure you've all had. I'm sure you all had the same revelation. As power grew, that only one could manage to be maintained.
Still not getting your dagger back from trying to stab me.
Took some time.
So,
But yeah, he's tried killing me in the past.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
As I'm sure you've had either attempts made on you or against your division.
Me and Ilga haven't had any problems.
You're the most hostile god.
And if you want to talk about that in that way, Sora and Terry, who are opposites, are basically lovebirds. So
You could have gone that route too, Yertle, but you didn't even try.
you could have chosen a different way, but
He looks puzzled. It was not the revolution I had.
well, we were aware that power could be transferred. That was certainly true, but the idea that it needed to happen was not something that was ever stated or ever thought of. However, there are people who have the opinion that maybe it shouldn't be divided between two people, but
Yeah, I was actually coming to let you have it. Just peace treaty.
yeah, we were going to have you sign a non-aggression pact until you attacked us, and kind of that all got out of hand.
Now I know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to praise me, I mean, I can make you the best cleric I can think of offhand.
I think he needs
Agreed.
time. I think he asked for that.
Stan, I'm just gonna keep proselytizing.
Just a while we're here.
But have you tried praising me specifically?
Hello, I'd like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
Since you aren't following me as a follower right now, I'm just gonna jump shield.
I don't know what you
Shield's like a 6-second thing.
I know I took that shield out. Like, is he still holding it? I already get transferred to me.
Oh, you... Yeah, okay.
Oh, you stole his
Yeah. His divine object, yeah.
Yeah, he Captain America'd.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
well,
okay, in that case, joint.
if something comes up or you need to talk, just send us a prayer.
Very well.
Well, anyway,
We're
I
halfway there.
have some stuff ahead of me here.
Yeah, we have to see what else is going on with the rest of these gods.
It's like, well,
Business doesn't concern you anymore, I guess.
say farewell to the.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Jeez.
I like that everyone's mad at the old man when it turns out Stan is the villain in the situation. Man, power corrupts. Stan's like, I'm the most powerful of all of y'all now, and
To be fair, all of this is pretty in character. Stan has pretty much been a jerk the whole time when it comes to, like, politeness. He's done wonderful things. He's been an excellent healer, and he's been a good god, but he's never been polite.
I mean, it's not really surprising he wound up getting executed when you think about it.
a little abrasive.
Am I the only one who died of old age? Did all the rest of you guys die in some other way?
I did.
I don't know about Rolfur, but yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, he died.
I didn't execute you. Yeah.
We had 2 people who've been executed.
Yeah. But yeah, so do you guys depart from the army?
And it's like, do you just want to go with me, Stan?
Oh yeah, I can ride along. I was trying to be cool with the Yertle here, but he's not being friendly back.
I'm just gonna go back to Dollport.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then I just open my door and we can go back to the chocolate factory.
Okay, so you guys head back there. And I feel the next one we should deal with is Terry.
I'm good.
You went home.
What
What did I do? What did I do?
Gonna go straight for the Jade Empress.
Killer. More should be now. We must balance the scales.
Sora, there's been an unfortunate development. Something that we should have seen. I had so much hope that the old man wouldn't disappoint us, but he has.
He kind of gives sort of gives you a
Yep.
hug.
So I know that you already have protection over your mind, but I'm going to have to start providing it to the other gods as well. Because the old man psychically manipulated, he used enchantment to manipulate Yordle into giving up his divinity to Stan. Despite my physical protest. Now, that reduces the number of capable minds that are going to be overseeing the world.
Do we work to pay likewise back? Perhaps Gardain would.
Oh, I'm sure Gardain would be.
Purpose to control such abilities.
Oh, I'm sure Gardain would love to have the powers of treachery, but no, the treachery should stay with the old man. The more, even if we don't agree, even if he is a villain, then it is still better to have the power spread amongst more minds. And besides that, we don't know yet how these changes in power could change somebody's being. And we don't want, I mean, he's the god of treachery and deceit. The artistry is apparently second, unfortunately. So
I love watching Bob's camera while you're talking.
Yep.
This is just fucking outrageous, the lies.
We don't know how a god of law and a god of policing and contracts would handle
the god of laws that trick you.
Yeah. So like that just sounds like the worst of any kind of tyrannical being that there could be. So I would, just as I attempted to save Yordle from that fate, I would try to save the old man from it if it happened to him. But that doesn't mean that it's what it doesn't make anything any better. We definitely need to make sure that everyone is capable of being protected. So I'm gonna have to get in contact with them.
Well, as I researched on Regal previously, I could see who the previous... if I can find information on the previous god of order and chaos was. See how they maintained
Well,
the dichotomy.
Ilga, she is the one that maintained the power, the divine power of knowledge. She is in, oh crap, I forgot the name. It's, let me bring up a map so I can go ahead and remember the name.
Liarsville, where they make up untruths about their dear friends.
Where is the Ember Kingdom? Nexon. She's in Nexon doing, right? She's in Nexon?
I think that's last you saw her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Nexon's my place.
yeah, she's in Nexon studying, but
Does
I
something
think
need
that
to happen? Is she safe there?
probably not. She is the second on my list that I'll be going to. I want to make sure that Gardain is safe first. But if you want, we can go. I can bring you to her so that you two could discuss, because I think that's pretty much all that she's been doing is researching. And I mean, I would.
Oh, if we want, but if she's in his region, would it not be better to bring her out here? Or, of course, I could meet her elsewhere, but probably best not to go into his territory if avoidable.
Well, we're not at war. He's just done something horrible. And I don't think that he understands that he did something wrong. I think that he's blinded by his own hubris.
Weird way to mispronounce morals, but alright.
Well, then maybe we use his proposed game against him. He likes actors.
Fancies himself a god of actors, yes.
So, perhaps, if needed to dialogue or discourse or bring him somewhere, we let him know we're on his side.
Well,
Is there a way that we can...
Sora, I
hold
want to
him?
repeat myself. I am still on his side. He's done something terrible, but he has done something terrible, and it might do something terrible again. It's imprisonment of a god is probably not much better. And
Possible.
but I think that trying to retaliate in some way might be, it's too early for that. We don't know what he's going to do. And as far as, I mean, best case scenario, he recognizes his error and tries to make amends somehow. But I mean, at the very least, he didn't take power for himself. He gave it to arguably the best of us. So it's not one who's going to be. I don't think that Stan was a simple man in life. I don't think that he's going to have machinations and blood sports and whatever horrible things. If anything, this is probably going to benefit us in the long run with this whole misunderstanding that's going on behind our country. But I think we should focus on those that we care about first, and making sure that those that could be future allies are safe.
Very well.
That's why I came to check on you first.
Wow.
And get your opinions on who I should go to, and if there's anything that any insight you have. You haven't had much interaction with the old man, but is it your opinion strongly that he should be removed?
Well, he's been amicable in the past, but between what you and Rolfur have said, he seems dangerous.
Oh, of course, but I mean, he's
And well,
in life he was a head of a nation that was despotic and conquesting. This is something that I consider I was a fool to think that he would not try to pull something, but to consolidate power somehow, which is why I want to go to Gardain first. But
well,
honestly, I'm surprised he didn't wait till Gardain showed up and took his power instead. But again, that is perhaps painting the old man in too dark a color. I honestly think he thinks he did the right thing. It's just that he's never had equals before.
Still don't. Sorry. Continue.
This is why you're single.
is he listening in?
Just like, oh, sorry.
Well, perhaps we can find a way to let him at least express his side of the story.
Gee, what a novel thought.
So I'm gonna go ahead and send some prayers around, starting with Gardain. Dear Gardain, I would like to talk to you. This is Terry, your friend and a fellow god. Something has happened. Dear Gardain, you can pray to Terry, me, without losing any power, in order to have a two-way communication. Please respond. Love, Terry.
Knocking
Please
sound.
respond.
You can...
Well, let's try it this way. Sending. Maybe he's on
you
another plane.
You hear a knocking sound.
Okay, the thing is, I see as the audio input hears the knock, so I know the mic picks up the knock.
I didn't hear that.
I also did not hear
Does
that.
Discord then have a second audio layer where it cuts off audio that my mic doesn't cut off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is noise suppression in Discord.
Okay. That's why I'm watching my audio, but I can see where the knocking is heard by the mic just fine.
Yeah, so the audience will hear it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I've done this before. We've gone through this before, haven't we? In this campaign.
Don't worry, we could cut this section in post.
Nah.
There is no post.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
there's no post
There's
here.
a knock.
I'm editing right now.
yeah, there's a knock.
Yeah, but there is a knock.
Terry will mage hand the door open.
Did he?
I expect to be greeted with, like, a delayed blast fireball or something.
It wasn't me, damn it.
A delayed blast fireball, then you got some time.
It is both Gardain and Ilga.
This is great to see you two. Unexpected, but very, very good.
Gardain kind of looks at... Your prayer was rather late. Rolfur's let us know a while ago.
Good. Rolfur is nothing if not fastidious. Well, do you have mental protections?
Yes.
Ilga?
Some.
Well, I have sufficient power to make sure that it's a consistent, permanent, and near flawless protection. I can do that once today.
Well, I have... Not sure how persistent near flawless mine is, but as I have a few different angles, perhaps protect Ilga first.
Well,
Mind Blink is a spell that you know the name of.
Well, if you don't have something better than Mind Blank sitting around, you're at much more danger than she is.
Either way.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, I'm going to go ahead and put my permanent Mind Blank on Gardain. Costing me 1 angel. Every time I use a permanency that's not on one of my summons, it gets 1 less angel.
Every time you mind blank, an angel loses its wings.
Yeah, so I would like to make it perfectly clear to start that I think that what happened is a mistake. Even our enemies amongst the gods are still our peers. So any effort or attempts or plans, plots, whatever have you, to reduce our number, I will actively work against.
We have an agreement. Officially speaking, Yertle was not part of that agreement. Technically, the old man was in the right to do what he felt was needed.
Thank you.
Are you... you are aware that we went there to get him added to the agreement.
No, I wasn't informed.
Hey, what's a little perfidy?
So, but yeah, either way.
That everyone agrees not to do because it leads to horrible consequences.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's what perfidy is.
So I will...
I don't know what perfidy is.
Alright, well... I can't speak for Billy, but he has a similar ability. Rather than doing this permanent crafting of the magic onto somebody, his is much more eldritch to me, but he also has some way that he can create a permanent bond on somebody. I don't know if he is capable of using Mind Blank, but
I am.
Well, I believe
perhaps.
You would be aware that I am capable of casting Mind Blank.
Okay.
And I believe
I don't know
it's
if he...
Jack and Billy who are still not on the contract. It is just those two, right? Nim ended up signing it.
Okay.
I think, right?
Well,
Yeah, Nim's on the contract.
That's it. That.
the contract is...
And then, of course, whoever came before us, though I'm not really sure about them.
I need to look into.
Sandra, I believe. From the
I need to look
sailors.
into see how they split the powers. Ilga, you wouldn't know anything about that yet, would you?
About what?
How they split their powers and the use of their chaos elemental.
I mean, from what I've seen, the old gods were not split. They were each
Right.
two sides.
How
of
they
one.
split.
We know that, David.
Like keeping balance.
Oh.
Oh.
They split because of the Modron. We were
You literally watched them be broken.
Yeah.
Modron literally took out an orb, cracked it in half, and gave two people half of an orb that he broke in front of you.
Yeah, that was
Well, in that case,
Session 1.
well, like, yeah, we should figure out how to, like, if we could figure out how to reform those orbs. Oh, that's a terrible option as well. 'Cause then the idea of having,
Well,
I guess we should try to figure out how that's done so that we can prevent that from happening.
Gardain has these up. Well, yes, I'm sure research into the old gods might say how to, because of course that seems something that they set up. But I mean the one before us. We weren't the first of the new gods. There's one that's been around sailors. Coming from east across the ocean.
This is
Sandra.
news to me.
Know very little of them.
Sandra.
Yes.
This is news to me.
Yes.
Well then. Do we know what they are?
They are just the god to many
Has
of the
anybody tried to
foreigners.
contact them?
No. But
Well, can't hurt to try. Dear Sandra, this is Terry, god of craft, forges, fire. I wish to seek a meeting with you. You can pray back as a form of two-way communication.
make a Constitution save.
Womp womp.
Begone, mortal.
Right. Ooh, Flurgany's a luck die on that one. There we go. So I went from 2 up to 22. 23. Very happy about that.
You manage to resist and basically find yourself standing up after a moment of blackness from the floor.
What happened?
You've just collapsed. Sora's kind of picking you up.
Now, use Tari's floating disc to get myself up, because it might be a little difficult for people to help.
Mm-hmm.
But I sit down as I float there. Well, don't think. Apparently, they have some kind of defense against being contacted, even. Well, that's concerning. I would suggest not praying to them.
Well, I thus far wasn't sure if they even knew that there were other gods for them to be concerned about. Actually,
Well, they probably do now.
If we're lucky, they may just think you're some foolish mortal. But no, apparently people across the ocean to the east have a bit of a different story, that instead of the gods leaving, they just gave their power to one other individual.
To her.
I suppose.
Well, then, that would be interesting to find out where our powers came from then.
Indeed. And you go over to Rolfur, who went back to his shrine following the events of the old man's betrayal.
Why are we calling it that?
Because we're
It's okay.
focusing on Rolfur.
And because there was a group consensus, and you decided, nah, group consensus is dumb. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
There was no group consensus. There was just one of you. The rest of you didn't say shit till it was over, then you had a hissy fit.
It did go by quick. So, you were up on the mountain mall?
I did protest quite a lot.
And believe it or not, that's true. I didn't think I had to locally object to not committing violations of mind and soul. I presumed that was just kind of a thing you knew. That you shouldn't do that. But apparently I need to tell the child not to put their hand on the stove, because yes, that you're not supposed to. I overestimated your general goodness.
It's okay, we all did.
Yeah, I thought you had at least a modicum of understanding of proper morals, and it turns out, no, you don't. You really are just a creature of lies, deceit, and killing.
He's not there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you just pacing about your shrine, fussing about how...
Well, yes, I don't want to do anything rash, and I'm aware enough to know that I'm pretty emotionally upset.
Yep.
That I'm not sure. I'm not certain of what I want to do. I'm not in a good space to make big decisions. So I make the big decision of I'm just going to close the shrine until I make a determination on what to do further.
So what, when a soul comes to your afterlife to be like, yeah, I want to hear about that trigger you're just sitting in front of it cross-legged going, no.
Yes, for now, it's just so the shrine is closed. We have received information. The notice that will be given to new souls is that information received that the knowledge of the other divine realms and gods is being verified, and so all souls are encouraged not to make a choice at this time.
What is this, purgatory? We're just gonna wait here now?
I mean, you could wait back in the river of suck if you really don't like my lovely, environmental.
Fine.
Yeah. It's like it's nice out here.
Got Karen over there causing problems.
I always
Otherwise-
imagined that your afterlife was just like a black void with this, like, pagoda.
Just wah.
Oh no, I figured.
Grassy fields
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Grassy fields, river, trees. It is just a nice day.
Yeah.
I am in the middle of building like an estate here that will be sort of like a temple,
But
an ascetic retreat.
it's basically the end of Majora's Mask remixed.
Something like that. Otherwise, I want to number one. I need to check. I can summon souls of the dead. Can I summon souls that are already in another afterlife?
Are you talking about you're making the ghost thing?
Yes.
Yeah, because that would normally be of an afterlife. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend probably like the better part of the rest of the day confirming people's afterlives from people that are in those afterlives and making sure they match what information I've been given.
Oh, going through the book where and you're just gonna.
Yes.
Okay.
And once I get that information, I will be providing both descriptions alongside each shrine, so that I can get what I was told both the gods claim their afterlives to be, what their afterlife actually is.
My afterlife is exactly what I claimed it to be, for the record.
Yes, well, I think it's mostly just I think Yertle was real vague about his afterlife. He didn't quite mention the fact that
I'm just saying, whilst you're doing this, what you're finding is what I told you is the truth.
Or it appears to be.
Yeah, it appears to be the truth.
Or that he's convinced his followers to lie as well.
You can't tell. I could put a big black square on a piece of paper, show everyone the piece of paper, and say, this is a big black square. I could give you that piece of paper. You'd fold it, put it in your jacket, and tell everyone, he gave me a paper with a triangle on it, and you'd all believe it was a triangle.
Because the old man is that good at lying.
Yes, because he literally can't not be that good.
He is.
Which is why it's why you can't trust in that situation. You absolutely know 100% that he's lying to you, and you still believe him. So how can you trust anything he says ever?
This is not a fair assessment.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's deliberately that way.
No, it's absolutely not. But I don't like you, so I'll use it as an excuse.
What the fuck?
Alright, let's...
Adam's over there
that'll
just
be one of
sucking on the
the-
hookah
It's
drama.
so good!
Yes. But that's what I'll do for the rest of the day. After that, I'll be doing other things.
Alright. Old man.
What?
You went back into your domain.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I go to Nexum, I suppose.
Easy enough for you? Just one
And
more
seeing
one.
how apparently people are attacking me, I am now invisible in my own domain. Permanently. So if I'm in Nexum, you cannot see me. Or find me.
Well, you mean you're just invisible, right?
No, I can't be found. By any means.
I thought that was how you were normally.
It's against
No.
his enemies, so he's just now declaring that you guys can.
We are now officially his enemies.
Not my choice.
Literally is.
No?
Wait, what?
You sent out a message to everyone that I'm an evildoer.
You don't know that.
Yeah, he didn't send
I
it to you.
was there when he did it. Oh no, I wasn't there, was I? Okay, then yeah, I don't do that. Because unlike some people, I could separate things that happened in front of me and things that didn't.
But you do definitely have the sense that people are upset with what just happened. That part you did gather.
Yeah, but they'll get over it. I mean, obviously I did what was the correct thing to do. Like, who would just watch a member of their party being attacked and trying to be controlled and taken over and then decide that nothing is the best thing to do about it?
Well,
A
I mean,
monster.
when you know that can't succeed, it's like watching somebody throw a
Why
ball.
would I...
Right.
Vic, you keep
Also-
saying that. Why would I know it can't succeed?
Yeah, that,
Also, the
We
old
specifically had defenses to protect against those very things.
First of all, I don't know who has what defenses, because I haven't been told any of that information.
Andy usually doesn't hang out with the group, so he wouldn't know actually.
yeah, Rolfur is making unfair assumptions. Yes.
So, just hang out in your tavern, or
I'm gonna start sending my little minions out to find someone to provide me with some information, because I've had a thought. So, I am seeking and sending people out to locate the famed adventurer Erich Rasrauda, as I feel he might be the only one who can answer my question.
he might be unavailable, stuck somewhere, cursed.
Yes, I know. He might be, because of my own hubris.
these things happen.
I remember that time when I was stuck as someone in a place with things.
All right. So you're doing that. Stan and Billy, after you went back to Dalport, what did you do there?
I cast Sending to Ilga.
Okay.
And I send her the message. Ilga, are you available? I want to discuss what happened with the old man and see if I can provide you for some protection.
By taking your god power.
This would be there. Yes, Gardain has extracted me. We are... we're in Khash Khot. Heading to meet Sora.
Okay.
Everyone's running around frightened. The old man's like, "Oh, that was a good day's work. I guess I'll go on with my life."
Send a second sending to her, and it's like, "Are you cool with me coming and joining you guys?"
So that I
Fine by
can
me.
eat you.
Okay. Then I will tell Stan I'm planning to go meet at least Sora, Gardain, and Ilga, and at Terry and Sora's temple in the Jade Country.
Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. You know, has anyone reached out to little girl yet? Or heard from her?
She went out into the desert.
I reached out to her, like, well, actually, you wouldn't never mind.
And Stan, you're aware you have a, you know,
Yeah.
as your mind is at this point
We're-
taking stock of all the new things that have just been implanted in it. You're aware, for example, that you have a second afterlife now, that you have...
Oh yeah, I gotta go check that out.
Yeah. No, it's like...
if you want
I'll
to,
join you guys after I pop my head into the here real fast. We can do a teleport, and then I can pop my head into the door
I mean, I think
of my new heaven.
you're in Dalport. You can just walk through the portal to get to Khash Khot.
yeah, I'm just gonna walk through the portal.
Okay,
It's
then,
like-
yeah,
It is like a probably like a 20-minute walk from the
Chocolate.
like mercantile district to the temple. But yeah,
okay, I'll check out my heaven for my new heaven, and then yeah, I'll join you.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll go to Honeytongue to the portal, and then on to Jade Country.
Was the portal in Honeytown, or was the portal like in your shipping district?
No, it was at Honeytongue because they were the ones managing the protection and who goes through.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's just that we still use it for
Shipping.
trade.
Okay. All right.
My side is far less concerned about who goes through,
Yeah.
and more concerned about the goods that go to and from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Mercantile District, Honeytongue, and then next to the Wizard Tower.
So, the demiplane, as Yurtle had left it, is a 300-foot cubed stone structure, which is divided into a great many floors. Whatever, 8-foot tall floors. Basically, a wooden structure. It has been divided because it's, while it's a 300 by 300, it's also 300 tall, and so it's just divided into levels. Some taller, depending on what work's being done into it, but it is basically made into giant warehouse that is also vertical, so that and it is not split by souls. Many of you have chosen the idea of all your souls are in different places, all your followers. They're all in one. They're all here. And while it's not like some sort of enslaved labor camp of souls, it is the souls following after war, being useful to maintain the machine of war on the material plane by producing the tools needed for such. Many floors, like wooden supports, and the joint force of his dead followers working to craft weapons of war within built forges and workstations, making swords, armor, the normal stuff that you think of the setting, in addition to basic firearms like muskets and pistols. And one of the souls there has had some interesting ideas that they are building advanced weapons. They've made laser rifles, though not the most stable of weapon. On a crit miss, it explodes, treating it as a gunpowder keg from the DMG going off in your arms. They also have produced a number of vehicles of war. There are a few tormentors, as found in the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus.
So do you want to take my sweet whip to the over there, Ryan?
What's that?
You want to ride my Tormentor?
Tormentor.
Where are you riding your Tormentor at?
Are you getting? Is the door big enough to get one out?
I mean, yes.
I need to. Yeah. How do I figure it's a garage door? Because Tormentors are large, I think.
Yeah, you can get the Tormentor out, but I'm wondering where you're planning to drive it.
Around?
Apparently down the...
Through a city where it tears through the streets, destroys all... I mean, it's not a vehicle of, hey, this is my cool car, bro. This is a machine of war.
Never mind then. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't rip up the streets.
Yeah, its wheels are literally buzzsaws.
Which I didn't.
Well, I
think would
mean,
go through
tank
stones.
treads rip up everything.
No, but like if you saw the picture of the Tormentor, like its wheels are literally buzzsaws.
It's a destructive vehicle.
Sweet.
But yeah, you can spend your time getting, acquainted with what you have there in that.
Like I said, I joined Ryan. It was a
Okay.
just pop your head in type thing.
Okay.
When I head and saw the vehicle, nope, shouldn't drive it on roads. Okay.
Otherwise, yes, you guys head. So I guess we got Terry, Billy, Stan, Ilga, Gardain, and Sora at this point, all gathered at your temple.
All of them falsely accusing me.
And,
Not all of them.
and now is
Not
when the
accused you of
nuke
what, sir.
drops.
You did a good task.
All right, so it's good to see everybody. Yeah, it's a dark day.
Well,
Trying not to make eye contact with Stan.
well, now that we're here,
Ilga kind of leans forward. I mean, Yurta wasn't exactly the nicest fella anyways.
we would actually like to further enlighten people on the events as they transpired. So, Stan, would you mind giving us a little additional backstory between you and Yordle?
Yeah, let them all know about how he did in the past try and kill me, show him the dagger, like Yes's way tried to stab me with before. The old man saved me. When he attempted this, put me in an armed area, so I really couldn't fight back. The man came to stop the situation, so that was a nice little mitzvah he did. And it seems like he did it again, stopping Yordle a second time.
When did all that happen?
They
It was when we
I
first
don't-
visited Nexon.
When the God Killer was Oh.
Is that why he suddenly left leading that army?
There seems to have been. Say, do you know what happened to Yordle after he attacked you?
No, he kind of disappeared after that one.
Okay, so
Like,
he might have.
I think I
Yeah, he might.
I
have,
think I know.
Yeah, I think he might have discorporated after the fight with the old man after he attempted to
So-
kill Stan. So
Yeah, the old man told me way back then that someone had attacked Stan, but or that there was someone that could kill gods that was around, and I started to freak out about it. But then he told me that he took care of it, and I mean, of course, I believed him. So I guess that's what he was talking about with Yurtle. him taking care of it. So I guess that the old man killed Yertle at that point. Although I thought that there was some other god-killing thing that
I
was
would
around,
have guessed that would have been Nim at the time, at least. But I guess not. I guess that was Yertle.
I didn't think too much of it. I just believed him.
Has anyone heard from them?
Not recently, no. We talked with Nim not that long ago, back in the desert city, but they were trying to essentially groom the now new king for his position.
We should probably offer some kind of protection to him sooner rather than later. Rolfur's pretty upset about this whole situation too. We don't know what he'll do either.
I am worried about Rolfur's safety, but that aside. To kind of explain the events as that they transpired, we were going to go and visit after we had located Yertle's location. We were going to go and have him sign Gardain's contract, but upon arriving and at the head of the army of the Men of Iron, which after the fact we managed to call a ceasefire and they ended up talking with us for a bit. But upon our initial arrival, he attacked us and also attempted to manipulate Stan's mind into ceding the power to him. And the old man, I guess now, seeing that he had attacked Stan and attempted to take his power for a second time, kind of decided to put an end to him for good. He's still alive, but...
well, so if we're going into detail...
go ahead.
Yertle psychically attacked Stan, and Stan resisted, and then the old man psychically attacked Yertle in retaliation, and which Yertle resisted, but which honestly that was the kind of thing that I was expecting, and I thought that we were all kind of expecting because it's just how
Terry was expecting a cease of hostilities after the initial bout where the old man was willing to pursue it further.
But unfortunately, the old man kept at it for several, probably, the whole thing took probably almost a minute. It was not an immediate event. In fact, I actually used Dimension Door to get Yertle away from the old man.
This was also during the situation where the Men of Iron were
shooting at us,
viewing us as hostiles.
I summoned a wall of stone to protection from that, and Dimension Doored Yertle away once Yertle realized the danger that he was in, and was trying to figure out where Yertle would feel most comfortable getting teleported to far away for his safety. The old man, again, in less than a minute, found us somehow miraculously through the dust and the gunfire and everything, and he banished me in order to get me away from Yertle and to prevent any type of save from him. He wasn't stopped by anyone else, or even attempted to, my understanding is. He looks at everybody, and looks back and says, then he did as the old man was wont to do.
I would like, just in case Billy or Stan want to defend themselves, at this point Terry had teleported Yertle away off into the sandstorm or whatever, and old man had to search through his infinite dimension door to find them. So
yeah, it's like you are not in visible sight of us, and as far as that ends up going, it's like I completely understand you being very upset with the old man, both for what he did and for bulldozing over you. But as far as from the old man's perspective, Yertle had kind of built a history of being willing to attack Stan directly, so him putting somebody who he felt was going to be a continual threat is something that I can also see a perspective of.
That's fallacious.
You have to convince me of that.
Yertle has gone through quite a bit, as so have we all. So the thought that Yertle could not be reasoned with by any means, and that it was simply a matter of, I now am punishing you, puts him at a rank above Yertle that he did not deserve to have.
A rank above? What do you mean?
He made a decision that he should not have the authority to make.
Well, we don't really have an authority amongst us, so...
We absolutely have authority. We are the only peers that we know of. We are as close to family, as close to a race as it gets. What he did was destroy not just a person's way of life, something to denied him the choices that he could have made, but he is literally reshaping the religions. It's a joke when he forces me to fast for a week. Horrible as it was, it is, however, pure tyranny to tear the divine spark from another. He doesn't have the right to make that choice. None of us do.
I guess Yertle did. Apparently that was fucking fine when he did it.
Well, say, I can appreciate that you don't see mutually assured destruction the way that the old man would.
That's mutually assured destruction?
Yeah, basically it's like if you're gonna attack us, you're gonna have to deal with a 100% attack on your own end, so...
I mean, we have a majority. I mean, Gardain's contract, if nothing else, is a symbol of that.
Gardain's kind of something, and you're still welcome to join it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But that's the point that's being made, is that he had the opportunity to stand down when someone, his ally, would got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
A tit for tat, a hot moment, those are things that happen. They're forgivable.
Yeah, if you want to talk about it along those lines, he definitely thought that you were making the wrong choice and he needed to correct your mistake. This is definitely the old man having a higher opinion of his own thoughts on the matter. So it's like that is certainly true.
I would, if Yertle was incapable of defending himself in the moment after an attack, then that is war. That is conflict. That is what happens when that's a punish. Like, that's not just a punishment, but that is justice. An eye for an eye. It is not, however, justice when vengeance comes into play, which is what it's looked like to me. Because
no,
I don't feel like that.
No,
it is justice that pushes an ally away.
No, I don't see it as vengeance at all. This seems to have been him putting Yertle down after he's attacked Stan. I don't think this has anything with Old Man trying to get revenge on him. This was for, like, Stan's prolonged protection, is the way he would see it.
Yes, because he needs to protect Stan.
Yeah, he definitely thinks that he needs to protect us. That is true.
Keep your healer alive is typically a safe statement to say.
I'm glad we're having this conversation about the old man without the benefit of the old man being there.
No, you're not there.
No, I'm not. I love
like
how this conversation about my beliefs and behavior is being had without my presence.
I've said something about Terry many times, and that is that Terry fully believes nothing is unheard by the old man.
That's true. You would think I know exactly what's going on.
So Terry hasn't brought it up. He doesn't want to scare people, but he fully believes the old man is listening to this somehow.
Yep, and I'm just over there next to him going, man, I think I need to talk to Erich Rada.
But I would at least want to hear what the old man has to say on the events before we fully condemn him for anything. I think he might have a better way of telling us about it.
Well,
maybe we should get Rolfur here, because he could probably recall the whole thing much better than all of us could.
He could relate.
I think that
could
I want to take a step
but
back.
maybe not the motives.
Let's take a step back when we're talking about condemning. We're not a jury.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to judge. We're not here to seek vengeance ourselves. In my point of view, we're here to strengthen our understanding that this doesn't change anything. We're all here to help the world as gods. We're not here to consolidate power. Power is better when it is spread out. That avoids foolish uses.
Well, I am certainly here to. I wanted to both have a extensive, kind of an extended conversation with Ilga, but I did want to provide her with a casting of Mind Blank to at least add a layer of protection for her in case somebody attempts it, because I don't want that choice taken away from Ilga.
Well, while everybody's here, I think that it would be this is a pertinent time for tea and cakes. Summon out some delicious gourmet tea and cakes for everybody.
What the? I'm missing tea and cakes now?
For some reason,
This
I
is
assumed you
outrageous.
would have served tea and cakes like a while ago. I mean,
I'm fucking
The
outraged.
conversation was important. It shouldn't have distractions. Now it's time to relax and take everything in. So tea and cakes.
I'm outraged.
So do you permanency mind blank on Ilga?
Yeah, and I make sure that as I'm casting the spell, I do so in a very slow and deliberate manner so everybody who can identify magic can see what I'm casting. It's just like I do that, and I give her a permanent mind blank. And it's like, yeah. It's like, I don't want this to happen to Ilga. I want her to be able to make her own choices and have it so nobody's gonna try to do it on the spur of moment.
But and Ilga kind of turns towards Stans. Though to satiate curiosity, I would like to know, what was it like?
Everyone perks up.
Was what like?
Essentially, you were granted further power than even those of us that have had more power than the world can imagine.
I mean, the thoughts doubled, the prayers doubled, it seemed, but they're all about something different. So
Okay, I'll be the one to ask. Anything cool?
It's different from what I'm used to.
He popped into his other afterlife, and he's got
Yeah, I got a cool new car.
like tank thing, but yeah.
Got some awesome guns. Pop open the door, reach in, grab one that's right on the inside. I have this awesome laser gun.
Thank you.
Don't crit miss. Step back in.
Big door.
I mean, it's gotta get this sweet car through. Guess I have a.
Yeah, if you take a glimpse in there, Terry, it looks exactly. It looks like the kind of thing that would be right up your alley. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is an afterlife of making things.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff in here. I'm still in inventory, but a door here to my other heaven on the inside of there makes things kind of convenient. Other than that, well, used to it. More responsibility.
Any new divine abilities that we should be aware of?
Not that I'm keenly knowing.
So,
you
Myrtle
like,
didn't have any like aces up his sleeve that he was hiding?
no, nothing particular. I mean, I recently got the ability to do this, create Planetar. He's gonna be my son, hanging out between the two, but that's about it.
Isn't that like a once per week ability? Didn't you already make a plantar?
No, that's when I didn't know what was going on. We were
Oh,
getting
okay.
mixed up there.
Gotcha.
You're talking about events that never happened. God.
Where he's like, oh wait, no.
That's a big angel.
Why isn't he wearing pants?
Hello.
Hello there.
Gonna
Hello.
be adding the production effort, all that jazz. Planetar Perry.
His name's Perry. Perry the Planetar.
Yes.
You're the worst. I hate you. That's amazing.
So you're all right. Well, let us know when you have taken inventory and decided what you're going to be doing with this war machine.
I summon.
You gotta take inventory of people.
I summon some moon sugar to have with my tea. Anybody else want some?
Then go ahead and psychically reach out to Alice. Alice, we have these members. I mentioned them all that are here at the Forbidden Palace. If you would like to come and join us, we are having tea and cakes while discussing what has occurred and how to continue forward.
I've no way back. You hear through sobs. Nothing's growing here. There's nothing I can walk through.
She can go through her domain.
She doesn't
That
have a temple
domain
yet.
goes out to a temple, and she doesn't have a temple yet.
All right. Well, I need to find you then. Go ahead and stand up and be like, "Well, it looks like that Alice is having difficulty getting anywhere. There's no plants for her to go to or from. Sora, if you wouldn't mind coming with me, I think that it might be best to try to find her together.
Okay.
Make yourselves at home here in the Forbidden Temple. We hopefully will be back shortly." And I go ahead and put on my helmet of teleportation, and because I've used a few of those today, and I could probably use a bonus. I attune to that, and we're off to go and try to find. I teleport as close to her as I can from whatever descriptions she can give me, and from there we're just gonna end up flying around until we find her.
Just look through her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I mean, it's a sandstorm. She is wandering through a sandstorm.
Okay. So I teleport to her in the sandstorm. I'm very familiar with her.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it's a person or a place, isn't it?
One second.
I think it's just place.
Destination you select.
To a destination.
Yeah. That's just place.
Yep.
Good luck.
Well, to the sandstorm that she's in. At the very worst, I have viewed the sandstorm once. And
Yeah.
well, so we've got
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that.
yeah, that's no. Let's see. It's probably seen casually since I'm able to see it with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you viewed ones.
That's lame.
Because it's also it looks visually like so many other parts of that sandstorm.
It appears to be some sort of sandstorm.
Are you rolling this or am I?
I'll let you roll it.
That's not helpful. 77. Hey, 2 sevens. What is that?
I'll let you read it.
Yay!
On target.
On target?
That's way closer. Yes, it is on target, but that was
3.
close that I liked. Yeah. So,
Stay on target.
yeah, what can I do? I'm gonna go ahead and once we get there.
And so she is like sort of bent over against the storm as she has just been sort of, and you can kind of see the trail behind her where she has just been marching in a straight line, and just like her face is just covered in the sand from where she's been crying, and down onto her blouse, and just like where it's stuck to the moisture that she's lost there.
Well, I'm just gonna body block the sandstorm while I figure out what spell to cast.
Finger of Death?
Disappoint child.
Okay, I've got another wall of stone. I will put up a wall of stone to block the sandstorm while we figure out. While they kind of look around and see, because Alice seemed to be concerned about nothing grows here, so, and we brought
About Sora
for that
instead
reason.
of one of the other people to.
So, one of the other people that what?
Could teleport.
Oh no, my Helm of Teleportation has 3 teleports, so like I could do it again. But like the thing is that there's no life there. Sora can make life. I do assume.
Well, I mean, Alice should be able to as well.
Yeah, it's.
She could just grow a tree.
Can she?
She
She'd
could by
be
the
druid.
next day.
Well,
I mean, she could also teleport to her domain, then use plane shift to get out of it.
I don't think she has plane shift.
She's a druid. She ought to. I think plane shift's level 7.
Yeah. Well, either way, we get there, make sure that the child is okay, and if we can, have Sora check to see if it is just like a desert and thus no life, or if there's something supernatural about it.
Seems mundane.
Okay.
It really seems that I mean, Alice just has the way that she's been doing things, and she ended up in an environment that was different, and she stormed off.
Okay. Well, we get her teleport back.
Okay.
So that
Where do
probably
you teleport
she
back
probably
to?
was out. The Forbidden Temple.
Where?
Where in? I would like to do that to a back room, someplace where she can get cleaned
Okay.
up. Like, preferably, let's do Sora's chambers.
Okay.
Because that way Sora can, like, help her if needed.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, unless she wants... Like, she has been pretty, Alice has been pretty, like, against the, Terry helping her with a lot of stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
So, Terry's gonna, like, he's just gonna leave it to Sora, and, Alice can tell her if she wants her to mess off or whatever, so. I'm gonna go in back, and, as I'm dusting myself off, just prestidigitation, and go back to the people that are in my house.
So then, after disappearing, Terry walks back down the stairs.
I, am emptying pockets out from the sandstorm and stuff. So, there are no trees in a desert.
They would be sparse. Yeah. Maybe.
Don't you have a bunch of tree tokens?
No, I gave those tree tokens to, Rolfur. But that is an excellent point. I should probably do that. You should tell me about that idea.
I don't know about magic. I'm just a rogue.
But yeah, we
And you still haven't given me any tree tokens.
what? I totally did.
You said they were rare and you didn't make them yet.
I did.
Whose inventory has them? Just saying, David, they're still in your inventory. You still have them.
No, I definitely took off. No, I don't have them in my inventory, but I definitely took the money off for them.
Oh, Rolfur?
Rolfur works on Mold Earth 3 days, magical items, creates 5 Qualls Heather tokens, Stan's Wand of Grave Digging, and Bonka's Flavor Compactor.
Yeah, you didn't make the tree tokens.
No, he made 5 of them, but he might
I thought you said feather tokens.
Yeah, Qualls Feather
That's
Token
what they are.
tree. Yeah, that's
Oh.
the full name.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. Misunderstood. Continue.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because I don't.
so he produced them, but he might not have given them to him.
Just saying. Ryan's notes say you didn't give them.
And if
Yeah, well, the intention was to give them to him as soon as I met him before we teleported away to go and have a debacle. But
but yeah, 5 of them.
fine, I will put them on my character sheet for Rolfur, unless Adam's okay with me having given to him previously.
I'm fine either way.
Okay, I'm gonna keep them on me because
That
I
way
just
you
changed
can
my
give
mind.
Yeah, give them to a little girl who needs a tree.
I'm going to give 2 of them once she comes back out. If she comes out, I'm going to give 2 of them to.
Sora comes out probably 20 minutes later, and it's probably a couple hours before Alice comes down. Having
Yeah, probably
bathed
having like a
and
nice.
rested and
Yeah.
consumed water and...
All right, well, as I go through my, as I'm cleaning all the, like within the first 5 minutes, as I'm cleaning all the dust off, I pull out the feather tokens. Me, damn it!
Me, damn it.
And
This is somehow the old man's fault, too.
yeah, so
But yeah, while I'm here in the Forbidden Palace, I do want to have a chat with Ilga.
Yeah.
Okay. So, to Ilga, now that we've kind of explained the situation with the old man, if there's anything that we can essentially do in order to protect us from dominations, I'm willing to work with her on that. It's because I don't want that to happen to either of us. But just to discuss it with her, in the event that it, despite our best efforts, end up happening, I both want to know what she would want to have happen to her and her powers and her domain, and how she would want it run. And I would also like to give her the same information, so that at the very least, if the power does end up getting transferred, that we would at least be able to attempt to run it that I would at least be able to attempt it to run it the ways that she would want.
are you doing this privately, or are we doing this in the big living room area?
I'll take her somewhere private to have this conversation.
Damn it!
Nothing suspicious about that, considering he's the only person who didn't sign the contract.
If she wants somebody there with her, I will fully allow it. I won't stop it. But if she wants to have it privately, then...
I mean, she has mind blank on her, so... But, I mean, at the same time, I'm you okay with this, Ilga? I mean, I think it might be a good idea if we stay together for at least a little bit.
I'm sorry, that's just me laughing. And the party not trusting Billy from this either. It's great.
He didn't sign the contract.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason to not sign the contract is due to an intent to eventually violate it.
I would like to.
You can't arrest me. I'm insane. You
And-
can't arrest me. I am perfectly sane.
Just to be kind of the treachery advocate here. we can dis like we can actually suppress these permanent magical effects through dispel magic. So it might be what?
He wants to listen into the conversation.
I said or arms.
It's just like, yeah, and it's like, yeah. Technically, that is something that could happen, but he wants to also listen in on the conversation.
Well, I see no reason why we're discussing things they can't hear. Best just stay as a group.
That's fine with me.
I'm gonna psychically reach out to. Okay, well, I can't psychically reach out to him because he's on another plane. I do a quick mental prayer to Rolfur. Dear Rolfur, see through. You need to be able to see through my eyes right now.
I don't have that power.
Yes, you do.
How do I have that power?
We're all psychically connected.
But
That's telepathic bond. We can speak to one another.
You can
I
transmit
can't
thoughts.
share your.
yeah,
Yeah, I can transmit thoughts. I can't share your senses.
Oh, okay, fine then. I start like, yeah. I need to be able to transmit thoughts to you right now.
No. Does telepathic bond not work across planes?
no. Yeah, if you're on a different plane, it doesn't work.
Ugh. What am I complaining about? I can do the work I'm doing anywhere. I summon ghosts wherever I want. I just go into the mortal realms in my temple.
Now you're at the minimum. Okay.
See, Terry doesn't really care so much. Like, yeah, he's kind of interested in this conversation, but he wants it recorded.
It's just the idea of like, you could do this work anywhere. Yes, but that's the office over there. But you could do it anywhere. Yes, but the office is over there.
There. So Terry's memories of this conversation as it's going on are being transferred to Rolfur.
Yeah, that is what I would expect. Once one person gains double powers, there's going to be a strong temptation for all others to acquire double powers. Probably couching them. Nobody wants to come off as the aggressor, so they couch it in rooms of precaution, care, and persuasion. It is also worth noting that Billy is the only person of our group who refused to sign the contract. So I'm not at all shocked that he's pursuing this line of thinking.
Are you just like psychically transmitting this to Terry?
Yes.
Well, Terry's
Like,
trying to focus on the conversation and transmit the data. You're like,
Yeah, and like
Like,
Terry,
nope, I already thought this would happen.
Terry
More
is
than Freeman
not.
there just narrating
And
your thoughts.
yeah, and Rolfur's over there just doing a paranoia spiral.
And Terry's just like, I'm not, like, thinking to himself over and over, do not validate this with a response. Do not validate this with a response. As he's just transmitting the whatever, yeah.
And it's like, that's fine. It's what I expect. It is the least of my expectations.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
in general, her idea is that the followers should be able to, have, a time of peace, relaxation, and just access to forever continue to learn, and so continue to try to amass knowledge to fill the afterlife with, that they never have to stop learning. Basically, the desire that you have to keep learning so that you can have new things in the infinite library that...
Okay.
And record it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Rolfur. And hoard it.
I didn't do anything.
I gotta keep track of these things.
Can you keep track of my fucking innocence?
Yeah, we
You
lost
literally-
it.
You literally committed a multiple murder.
Did no such thing.
That's a
At
figurative.
the end of the day,
That is definitely figurative.
But in return, I also discussed the idea for my afterlife was to essentially create a place of infinite creativity for followers to be able to have their own environment and be able to either build it wholesale, kind of from the ground up, or to be able to take templates if they're more comfortable as being people who are more like tinkerers who end up tweaking things and moving around, but have both places to where people are able to freely interact, and then also private places for them to be able to work on things by themselves and have some peace there. But it was my idea to use the power of magic and creativity to bring new and interesting things in the world, so people would have different stories and things to interact with, and then the afterlife to also be a place to where they're even more free to do so. And then I also talk a little bit about the ideas that we had for potential holidays.
Guess our holidays are off the table.
Yeah, I'm like. And here's where my holiday, partnering with the old man, whom everyone
Do we know if it's possible to combine afterlives?
At this point, no.
So
Do
far,
you guys
there's
think it's
just a door
possible
between the two.
to combine afterlives?
I mean, the person who would most likely
Stan-
know is Eric.
Yes, Stan, you know that you were able to, like, connect them. They're separate, but...
Yeah, I got a door permeating between the two.
Yeah.
Like,
And you can make that... I mean, if you
So,
want to just have
between
one
the-
full side where they're one next to another, Rolfur also has a somewhat of a sense of it.
alright. I go halvesies. I'll
Because
figure that
Rolfur
out.
ended up in someone else's that had...
Interesting. I think that it might be beneficial at some point, once we're have more power and have more control over afterlives, to maybe have some level of like, I don't know, visas between them.
All you can say right now is one's 300 square miles, and
I'm
one's...
sorry, I only accept MasterCard.
Wait,
No visas.
I do Amex only. I'm
That
sorry.
would certainly be an interesting idea of being able to somehow connect our afterlife together to be able to have people move between them if they want.
Yeah, no one has any concept of any that are connected that aren't of, like, the same... Like, one god with two afterlives being able to combine them is all that you have.
I bring up the idea that it could potentially be done, that if we could figure out a way to provide a way of plane shifting, that we might be able to just figure out the frequencies of our different afterlives and then have people transfer that way.
That brings up the question of letting people into the afterlives that might not be ready for them, but that's...
It would probably have to be done with the gods who would agree to have the people move in and out.
Yeah.
And then, now that our group is doubled in size, probably around the time Alice is returning down, looking her normal self again.
In new,
Yeah.
fresh,
Yeah.
elegant, jadish clothing.
She's probably had her clothes laundered. She's probably still in her same dress.
Fine. I go ahead and pull out 2 coins and hand them to her, and let her know that these were made for Rolfur, so they are, they will make his tree, but
Ginkgo tree.
but in case you're ever in emergencies again.
Thank you. Ilga brings up, does anyone else want to further the discussion that Terry may have let whatever god has been ruling portion of this world possibly know that we're around?
Oh yeah, pop that,
What?
accidentally popped that can of worms.
Just a little whoopsie.
What are you talking
Oh.
about?
What?
Gardain kind of just looks around. Sandra, do none of you deal with sailors?
Nope.
I've had conversations with them, but Sandra
Nope.
hadn't been brought up, as far as I know.
Apparently she's actually sorry, Gardain. Go ahead. Apologies.
Okay.
Sandra Bisonman? Or Bisonman? Something like that.
I don't know what that is in reference to.
Welcome to every experience with Ryan everyone's ever had.
Well, either way,
the first mention that I have of the name of Sandra is something when I was discussing with the sailor who ended up giving me the information about going to Wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Said that a passing soldier had told him about Sandra Bisonman.
I thought that when that conversation, I didn't even think about that. When that conversation happened, I thought he was talking about Sora.
No, the Bisonman, as in like a bison minotaur, was the person that had mentioned Sandra.
Okay.
Oh.
Now I was like,
Bison Minotaur, that's so silly.
I was trying to figure out like where did that come from. Oh, that's where I was like, where did Bisonman come from? Because yes, you did have a sailor that did mention that guy.
Yeah.
So, Ilga, Gardain, what do you know of her? Anything?
She rules the land of the east.
Well, I tried to pray to her, as I have to most of you before, as a way of correspondence, but instead I was blacked out for a moment. It was a very unpleasant experience. I think it was some kind of either protection or attack. I'm not sure.
And
I'll try it again. I'll heal you if
so
you
it's
get
not
hurt.
to the east, but where was she when we were given power?
Well, the
She
way
wasn't
they
with
speak
us.
of it, she's been ruling since the other gods left. For hundreds of years.
Wouldn't we know about them from our mortal life then?
And so,
Not if it's on the other side of the world.
Oceans are big, man.
so she's been a god
But,
that never disappeared and has been ruling for hundreds of years in the east.
Did
Ilga
Barty help them?
shakes her head. No. No, we had Laura, Ashley, Reagan, Taliesin, Travis, Brian, Ray. There's no Sandra. But give me a moment. I can access my libraries from within your temple? Or do I need to leave?
Like, your afterlife?
Yes.
Oh, sure. No, anywhere.
And she kind of goes and you just sort of see like into halls of books as she kind of turns off to the side.
Harry kind of looks in there with, like, an odd look of both, like, complex longing.
Yeah, just view it to see what it looks like.
But short time later,
Do you have a checkout station?
She comes back with, if you need things, yeah, certainly. Of course, if ever you want to add things as well, I'm sure. Your skills with craft. Or...
Do you have a mystery section?
Yes, certainly. We do have
Says
have a
matter
copy of
from
your book,
Venus.
even kind of gesturing towards Billy.
Oh, wonderful.
The important works have been saved, thank God.
But setting a book down that is sort of like clearly like as she flips through, like it is a book that is compiled of pieces taken from other books where whatever some little snippet from here is. So we have Taliesin is the one that didn't match. Peace in the Twilight. That was none of us, was it?
No.
No, Twilight. I thought it was Tempest, wasn't it?
Well, yes, Tempest, the storm and light in the storm. I had that. That was Ashley.
Yes, isn't that what you were mentioning? Light and Twilight?
Well, yeah, light and the storm. But Taliesin is peace and twilight. No one got those.
No, not that we're aware of.
Right.
So there are 2 unaccounted for.
Well, that would... I wonder if this Taliesin reinvented themselves as Sandra.
Could be.
Could have been the reason why something happened, and maybe the Chaos Elemental was some kind of failsafe.
Hey, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The god of peace and twilight. Is it true that that's Sandra?
That is true.
Sandra is the god of peace and twilight.
Bum bum bum.
Are they
And
having
with that
fun?
sound effect, that sounds like the perfect time to end this session. Thank you for watching. Join us next time to find out more.
And comment below to see... We want to know what you guys think if Bob did the right thing.
Judge Bob in the comment section below. Judge
Or
him.
the rest of us.
Just the old man. I'm a different
Fine.
person.
Judge both Bob and the old man in the comments below. Bye.